Under the leadership of Executive Director Dr. Eric M. Ryman, Banner Alzheimer's Institute is providing the highest standard of medical care and unparalleled support for Alzheimer's patients and their caregivers, while conducting groundbreaking research through scientific collaboration.
So the Banner Alzheimer's Institute has 3 highly ambitious but strategically focused and ultimately achievable goals: to end Alzheimer's disease without losing a generation, to establish a new standard of care for patients and their families, and to forge a model of collaboration in biomedical research.
The Institute is not only an international leader in the care of individuals with memory and thinking problems, but is also a scientific pioneer in the quest to develop new treatments and prevention therapies in the shortest time possible. Alzheimer's disease affects 1 in 10 Americans over the age of 65, and nearly half of those over the age of 85. Alzheimer's disease is a fatal brain disorder that slowly destroys one's ability to think, communicate, and complete basic tasks. It is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States. At Banner Alzheimer's Institute, we explore multiple avenues to treat those who are afflicted with the disease and the family members and caregivers who look after them.
Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of memory and thinking problems in older people. In its gradual but relentless course, it causes people to lose their memory and thinking abilities, their ability to perform routine tasks, and eventually become totally bedridden and confused.
I knew something was going wrong because, for instance, at the end of the week, and we were going to close the doors for a couple of days, I had a habit of taking all my paperwork and so forth and put it down in a certain way. So when I came in Monday morning, I didn't have to, what am I going to do, kind of thing. And I noticed that I didn't get around to do that anymore. And I'd come in the morning and be upset with myself that I didn't do what I was supposed to do. The second thing is that I went to bed one night. I balanced a check one day, and I went to bed that night. Got up the next morning, and I couldn't balance a checkbook. And what happened is it stole all my ability to organize and do things of that nature.
So he stopped trying.
Yeah, so I just didn't do it anymore.
We are proud to have Dr. Pierre Theriault leading our Memory Disorder Center. He believes providing the highest standard of care means offering patients access to the most advanced medications, including promising treatments being studied in clinical trials, as well as potential disease-modifying therapies and treatments designed to improve memory and thinking.
I think it's very important that people understand that by and large, people who participate in clinical trials tend to get really, really excellent medical care because they're being followed very closely by a concerned group of experts over a long period of time.
So Dr. Theriault said, well, there are some testing programs that we're going through and some clinical trials. So he said, let's see where you could fit in.
So I was really interested in getting Joanne on a study. And so I went on the internet and found out that they were doing studies here. And I called here, and I've been very pleased with how they responded. And we met with a physician initially. We got on a study which we hope is going to have some long-term benefit.
Our specialized unit of nurses and social workers provides everything from disease education to strategies for successful daily living. By helping patients and caregivers prepare for their future, we help them to have a more meaningful experience today.
Patients and families are incredibly grateful when they find us. They've never experienced a place like this where they're understood, where they're given the time to express their frustrations, their stories. They are amazed that we get it and that we can provide not only medication treatment, but more importantly, often the counseling and support that really help them be their best.
The social workers, the experts on traveling with the loved one, meeting other people that have the disease and being able to talk about it openly and share our experiences and what we've learned, that's a very important tool.
I recognize the wonderful service and welcome that we got when we came here. And the people at Banner have been just so, I can't express it enough. And it was like somebody turned a new light on.
From brain imaging that measures progression of Alzheimer's disease years before the onset of symptoms, to our genomics division that helps find genetic markers, Alzheimer's research plays a pivotal role in meeting our goals.
My colleagues and I have been using brain imaging techniques to peer inside the head, study the structure and inner workings of the living human brain, and see if we could detect and track some of the same brain changes we see in patients with Alzheimer's symptoms decades before the onset of symptoms in people who carry a common genetic risk factor for Alzheimer's disease.
The Banner Alzheimer's Foundation has been established to support the efforts of every aspect of the Banner Alzheimer's Institute. Contributions promote research and clinical trials designed to identify treatment and prevention therapies in the shortest possible time.
My husband and I both thought it was just very important to support Banner Alzheimer's Institute because of the research that they're doing here, and that's definitely when I am out fundraising, that's what I express to potential donors to the hospital, just how important it is and how important the research is that they're doing here.
I moved my mom out to Scottsdale area so I could be with her. She was in a home and had wonderful care, but it was so deteriorating and so difficult, and I was the one here with her. There are a million charities, and I feel like you have to pick what your passion is, and this is my passion, and that's why we do it. And we want to prevent what our family went through for other families.
With your help, we can turn help into healing by ending Alzheimer's disease while setting a new standard of care for patients and families along the way. For information on how to donate time, funds, or participate in clinical studies, visit banneralz.org or call 602-839-3851.